Hello, I am so excited to be invited to speak to you all today. I've heard many amazing things about this group, and I know this is just a powerhouse group of entrepreneurs. So, hello, my name is Patrick Dominguez, and I've been coaching for 14 years. And during that time, I built a multi-million-dollar coaching business. And I've coached and I've trained thousands of business owners in 30 countries. And now I'm founder of Inner Coach. Before all that, though, I want to just tell you a little story. I got into personal development about 30 years ago. And I remember listening to Tony Robbins on tape cassettes. So that dates a little bit of when I was learning from Tony. And one thing I heard him say was 90% of your success is your inner psychology. Okay. 90% of your success is your inner psychology. And at the time, I was just starting out in a career in the corporate world. I was in my early 20s. I remember thinking, that seems totally off. 90%? What about hard work? What about strategy? What about having the right game plan? What about working for the right company and so forth? And so I thought it was all about your hard skills, et cetera, your business plan. But when I started my own coaching business 14 years ago, what I saw was I had a real fear of public speaking. And because of that, I was procrastinating on doing anything and everything I needed to do to put my coaching business out there to get clients and to be visible. And so what I saw was in that case, it was 100% my inner psychology that was holding me back from getting out there and doing and creating what I wanted to. And so I see this all the time now in the world of coaches and solopreneurs and practitioners who want to create their own business. They have all their dreams and aspirations and goals, and then they get in their own way of having that happen. So I'm curious if any of you resonate with that. Okay. Yep. I'm seeing. hmm Great. So we're in the right place here. So I came to see from my own experience and then working with thousands of clients, why being your own inner coach and being able to work with your own inner stuff and your inner blocks is crucially important. In the past 5 years, I've also helped, in addition to working with many business owners, in the past 5 years, I've also been helping people with relationship challenges or people who struggle to get into a relationship. And at the core, it's the inner stuff that gets in the way. It's our inner psychology, our inner patterns, our unresolved childhood stuff. For example, it's our emotional patterns that keep us stuck in a loop of emotional eating, or it's our inner patterns that have us feel like sometimes love is too much or it's too challenging to have love be too close. Or conversely, there's a fear of losing love. And this is all happening on the inside, right? And so that's why I created Inner Coach to give people the tools to be able to work with their own inner psychology, to transform their inner patterns and programming, and to be able to heal the past that's still affecting you today. So, and you're probably here because you're into personal development and you want to grow and do your own work. So let's dive into this. Let's talk about the three areas you need to focus on to be your own inner coach. And then in a little bit, I'll talk about how you can also translate that into being an inner coach for others, being able to apply this in coaching or working with others. So there's three important aspects to being an inner coach. Number one, activating your most powerful self. Number one is activating your most powerful self. So much of the time, when people are going for a big goal or a daunting goal, like creating a business they desire, or an intimate relationship or a health goal, a lot of the time people are not operating from their best self. Okay. When they're, let's say, someone's going for that new business or stepping out there to get clients, a lot of times fear or self doubt is what's running the show, or predominantly, or I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. I'm afraid of getting too close. I'm afraid of losing love. All these inner energies and patterns actually serve to push our goals away. And so The first aspect of being an inner coach is tapping into and cultivating your powerful self, that aspect of you that's strong, that's resilient, and that's resourceful. One way to think about this is I think of this as being connected to source or your core self or your intuitive wise self and letting that part of you guide you instead of trying to figure things out in your head. So, one of the best secrets to being able to be in touch with your intuition or the higher levels of consciousness is to heal and release the stuff inside you that's weighing you down. So instead of running your life from fear or programming of the past, you're running your life, your business, your relationships from an empowered adult self, the part of you that's grounded and compassionate, curious, present, clear, creative. Some people call this your core self, your super conscious. Some people even call this aspect your inner coach. And why is this so important? Once you express and you embody and you are coming from your running your life from your core self, then the life that's meant for you, the life you desire, just unfolds naturally and abundantly. So, point one is to activate your most powerful self and allow your life, your business, your relationships, what's most important to you to be guided from this powerful aspect of you. Okay. Is that making sense? Yeah, I'm getting yeses in the comments. Excuse me. Okay, good. Good. Let's go now to the second. Let's go now to the second aspect. Excuse me. Let's go now to the second aspect of being an inner coach, which is unleashing yourself from the unconscious patterns and blocks from holding you back. So the first aspect was activating your powerful self and coming from that place when you're working on your business or you're relating to other people or you're pursuing your health goals. The second one is unleashing yourself from the unconscious patterns and blocks holding you back. Because no matter how much you try to develop and you try to develop yourself and your skills and strengths and access your inner wisdom, we all get in our own way. We self sabotage and procrastinate on the things that matter most to us. Why? It's because we have patterns of thoughts and beliefs running inside, patterns of emotions and behaviors that used to serve us when we were younger to keep us safe, but aren't as needed now. There's a saying, what kept us safe now keeps us stuck. And so I'm sure you've all seen this, that there's some inner programming or ways of living life that are limiting and sometimes even disruptive. I'll give you an example, the inner critic. It's this part of us whose criticism and self doubt can stop us cold in our tracks from doing things where we can grow and create the success we want. Or another inner pattern or part is the people pleaser that puts other people first and tries to get other people's approval. Can anyone relate to having a people pleaser inside or an inner critic? And so when we have this people pleaser going on, so often we don't speak our truth or we don't speak what we need, and it feels really disempowering. And because the people pleaser has to put other people's needs first, and therefore our needs get suppressed. And that can make it really difficult to move forward towards what you want in life. This is one example. So to me, being an inner coach means being in charge of your growth and your personal development, your inner development, having the self awareness to know when you have these limiting emotional reactions or patterns of behavior or beliefs, the ones that keep you small or keep you limited or keep you from being who you want to be. Knowing that they serve us or used to serve us deeply in some way, but maybe they're not serving us as much anymore. But self awareness is only step one. The next step is having your own tools to be able to change your patterns of thought and beliefs and emotions embedded in your nervous system, in your limbic system, in your unconscious. And most people just don't have the ability to create their own inner change or transformation. They have an awareness of what they'd like to change, but not the tools to do so. And so that's an entirely different level of being an inner coach when you're able to create change and transformation within yourself or others, when you can heal or release or upgrade in real time when it's needed. This is an entirely different level of self master and inner coaching. And that's aspect number two. And then number three, the third aspect of being an inner coach is being a powerful creator of a life you love. It's being a powerful creator of a life you love. That's the third aspect. When you've done the inner work, you're in inner alignment with your goals. Now it's a lot easier to get into action and to create what you want and have all the goodness in life that we want and deserve. And by the way, I want to really emphasize this is not about fixing yourself all the time. There's really no fun in that and no power in that. Being an inner coach and being a powerful creator means redirecting your precious and powerful creative energy, your creative power from problem solving and overcoming challenges to expressing your gifts, activating your powerful self, embodying your natural talents, and then ultimately being someone who can create that life you really desire. I've studied from masters of creation and manifestation and so forth. And what I've discovered is there's a system, there's actually something called creation technology. And what's really, I think, really cool is some of it's rooted in principles of medieval alchemy, but I've learned it in its modern form. And it's a methodology or a science. It's a step-by-step system for creating what you want in life. It's very flexible, but very powerful. And think about this for a sec. What would it be like to be able to tap into your heart, your deepest desires, and to turn that into reality in a consistent and predictable way? And so to me, that's what is so valuable about learning creation technology and having a system you can go to for creating. So I've talked about the three important aspects of being an inner coach, and they apply for you to be your own inner coach for yourself. But also, if you're a coach or a healer or practitioner where you work with other people, it's so powerful when you're able to utilize these three aspects I've mentioned of being an inner coach in your work with other people to help them have the transformation and the results they want. So when you're working with others, when you can help them activate their most powerful selves, when you can help them unleash themselves from the unconscious patterns and blocks holding them back, and when you can help them step into the energy and into the technology or the science of being a powerful creator of the life they desire, you can really help people create some amazing transformation and amazing results on a consistent basis too, especially when you have clients who are getting in their own way, which is very common, right? Because if you think about it, if you're a coach or healer or practitioner, people are usually coming to you because they feel blocked or stuck or something's in the way, right? So when you know how to work with that, then you can be a very, very successful coach. So I want to give you an example of this, just kind of what I'm talking about. So I had a client years ago who wanted to launch a coaching business, and she had had a very successful corporate career. So she had a lot of uh, really high level business experience. And now she wanted to coach and empower women leaders in business. She wanted to help women step into their leadership, which is something she had done herself. However, she had spent 5 years researching and preparing, studying coaching, getting coaching credentials, reading books on leadership, etc. But in 5 years, she had never taken one step to launch her coaching business or even get one coaching client. So she'd spent 5 years dreaming about it, preparing for it, but never taking that first step. She was paralyzed with fear. There was a part of her that was just so afraid of failing that it would be crushing to her if she failed at this dream. And so it was actually safer for her to not do anything than to step out and try to do something to create this dream business. Basically, she couldn't fail if she didn't take an action. And so 5 years she'd been procrastinating on taking her coaching business out into the world and serving these women she was so passionate about supporting. So when I talked to her, uh, it was clear she had tons of business skills, coaching skills. So it wasn't about a lack of ability. She was blocked by an inner pattern of avoiding failure. So we went to work and we got to the root cause of this inner pattern, which originated from her childhood. There were a couple of really significant times she had an idea or project as a child she was passionate about, and it got ridiculed by one of her parents, and she just felt crushed and humiliated. They didn't believe in her dream. To the contrary, they didn't get it. And so she developed this coping mechanism. Better not to go for your big dreams. And especially, it's important not to tell anybody. And so there's this deep avoidance of inside of wanting to have that emotionally crushing experience again. So it's better not to do anything than to have this humiliation. And so we did inner transformation work, inner healing work to release this baggage, the emotional pain she was still carrying from the past that was causing her to avoid moving forward with her business to the point where she was freed up and unleashed from the past. And then I worked with her to connect to and activate her most powerful self, her powerful inner coach. And guess what? Right after this, she went out, she gave her first workshop. She'd been wanting to do a workshop for years. She finally went out, did one, got her first 2 clients right away, and just kept on going. And eventually, she went on to create a full-time coaching business. Uh, but she just loved helping women step into their leadership and making a huge difference in the world. And so that's the power of being an inner coach for other people. Okay, I want to just check in. How's this landing for you? Is this exciting? Is this interesting? Okay, awesome. Awesome. I'm seeing some great comments. So what I want to do now is I want to take any questions you have at this moment, and we'll dive into some Q&A, and then we'll go on to some specific practices you can do to become an inner coach yourself. So you can coach yourself or others to have the transformations or the healings or the results and the magic you want in life.